Hello there, gamerinos and gamerinas. Welcome to UnicornStorm. This is Rady, and I played a bit of Snufkin, Melody of Moominvalley. When I saw the game's art and screenshots, I had to have it, even though I know absolutely nothing about all this Moomin stuff. Yeah, I vaguely remember there being a cartoon series that's based on a series of Finnish books, but I don't think I've ever watched a single episode or read any of the books. The Moomins' design looks familiar to me, but that's about it when it comes to my knowledge of this IP. Still, just the look of the game intrigued me, so I had to have it. And I'm quite happy with my decision. The game just has so much charm, be it the soothing and calm exploration gameplay or the unexpectedly witty dialogues. The game just looks like an old, cheaply made Eastern European cartoon. Well, I'm sure northern countries had similar animation on their TVs. With my limited knowledge of this IP, I can't judge how faithful this game's style is to the original artwork or the show, but I enjoy it a lot regardless of that. Gameplay-wise, this game is in many regards a classic adventure game, albeit a very casual one, which fits the source material and target audience. Or maybe the original target audience, I guess. You play as this guy, Snufkin, who returns to the Moominvalley after a long winter to visit his friends. But when he arrives, a few things seem off. Wrong. The animals seem agitated, scared even, and inappropriate warning signs have popped up everywhere, ruining the idyllic view of this nature reserve somewhere in Finland. So you now have to help all those little critters and the rest of the Moominvalley's inhabitants with all their little problems, and by that, slowly find out what happened around here. At the start of the game, Snufkin is only equipped with his harmonica, which you can use to calm or charm animals. Different animals show different behavior to the music you play, though it isn't as complex as it might sound right now. Only certain animals in fixed locations that are even marked with a small symbol over their head react to your music. And they always do this one specific thing. So you don't really need to experiment with your tools and abilities, but more so just visit or return to a place when you have the required things with you. Over the course of the game, you find additional musical instruments that broadly work the same but have their own little quirks, like the range or area the music is audible. But even with those slight differences in gameplay, the different instruments function more as roadblocks than actual additions to your arsenal. Because they don't really give you more options during the moment-to-moment gameplay. Instead, the farther you progress through the game, more and more critters appear that just require the use of a different musical instrument. So the instruments function more like keycards. Yeah, I think this comparison isn't too bad. Because in addition to the different keycards, there's also a required access level to all your musical interactions, called inspiration in this game. So you not only need to have the correct instrument in your arsenal, you also have to be inspired enough to affect all the different creatures. And this is just another arbitrary roadblock. It's a way to gate off areas, but not a very creative one. Instead, the game could have outfitted you with even more instruments, or maybe different songs for each instrument. Really lean into the musical theme. I mean, the game is called Melody of Moominvalley, but it doesn't do much with the mechanic. It's just a bit of window dressing. Really cute and charming window dressing, but window dressing nonetheless. So how do you get inspiration in this game? By helping the inhabitants of the valley with their little problems, and by exploring. Mostly by exploring. Whenever you crawl through bushes or flower patches, you get a little bit of inspiration, and whenever you got enough, your inspiration level increases. And that's pretty much it. It's fine for the most part because you already want to explore all the places, and most of the time there are small puzzles involved, and sometimes you get additionally rewarded with a really nice view. But yeah, it doesn't really translate into the most engaging gameplay. During your travels you also stumble across a lot of seemingly junk items. And with every good adventure you need everything you find, either for a small side quest or to progress further through the story. Sometimes these items are just lying around, and other times you have to solve a small puzzle or use one of your instruments to get it. It's pretty standard fare, but fun for what it is. And of course, many of the things you need, you get in typical adventure fashion by cheating and bullying all the innocent NPCs out of their stuff. Hey, I don't know about Snufkin in the show or the books, but in this game, with some of the stunts he pulls, he is second to none to other assholish adventure game protagonists we all know and love. In between the more open-ended exploration sections, there are sometimes linear chase or platforming sections, or let's call them hide-and-seek sections. Neither one of those is too hard. Though the hide-and-seek sections do mix up the gameplay in small ways. All over the valley there have been parks erected. Now that doesn't sound all too bad, right? But those parks are, for one, run by imbeciles so inept that they are an actual threat to the environment. And secondly, all the creatures who live here have been driven away to make room for these parks. So it's our duty to do something against them. By removing all the warning signs or scaring off all the policemen. And yeah, the last one is a bit weird, isn't it? Why are we fighting the police in this game? Maybe this has been a theme in the source material, but even if that's the case, it just doesn't sit right with me. You know, teaching kids that the police is entirely consisting of idiots who don't care about those in need or in danger and only siding with the rich and influential people. Not saying that this idea or theme can't be explored, but I think that's something for more mature stories. This fits better into a game like Deus Ex than into an adaptation of a children's book. Yeah, I understand that they are supposed to be representative of, like, rigid bureaucracy and ruthless progress at the expense of nature. And it's fine to criticize those concepts. There's a lot to critique with that, even in children's media. But then, those guys could just as well have been private security guards or actual bureaucrats. Like, people running around shuffling papers, demanding your permit or something. That said, gameplay-wise, it's Ocarina of Time stealth. The guards have a visible awareness cone, and you have to stay out of it and find ways around them. There are some variations to this concept, but that's pretty much the gist of it. These sections so far have never overstayed their welcome and broke up the pace between the more long-winded exploration sections. The game isn't very challenging or too deep or complex, but incredibly charming and full of heart. I really enjoy my time in this little cartoon valley with all the endearing little details. I would have liked a more fleshed out music mechanic, but it's fine for what it is, and I guess it's intended for younger players, way younger players, who'd let the witty dialogue fly way over their heads. Also, this is another game that doesn't run very well on the Nintendo Switch, even though there shouldn't be a reason for that. I don't believe this game is too demanding, but I still got numerous stutters all the time, even during cutscenes, at the start and in the middle of them. Either this game is really badly optimized or the Switch is just really shitty. I let you decide. But yeah, maybe you want to get the game on a different system. And that's all I have to say about this game, for now. It's a heartwarming little adventure in an amazing art style, and I guess those who are fond of the source material can get even more out of this game. So yeah, if you like what you've seen here, you should give it a try. But if you prefer your games in physical form, like me, you have to look towards Asia with this game. Sadly, it has only been released digitally in the West. I have no idea why, but this is sadly the case with a lot of games. But hey, at least there is a physical version somewhere available. Looking at you, Black Myth Wukong. But yeah, with that, I'm off. You lovely people just have an awesome day. This has been Rady, and I hope to see you again on the next game.